Well, we are here again, folks. I'm up at my summer place. Little cool this morning, so wearing some long sleeves and long pants. The summer has come and gone, but it's supposed to get to 90 today, so maybe a warmer day happen. Anyhow, I would love to hear from you. My name is Reverend Annie Batchelder. I'm an Akashic channel. I've been channeling my guide Anubis for 34 years now, maybe a little bit over. And I've been working in the Akashic Records since 2014. And I've probably done thousands of Akashic Records readings. And if you count all the little mini readings I do here on Facebook, it's even more. But that is not the point. The point is here on the Facebook group page, Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness, you get to type in your questions in the comments, and I will channel an answer for you. And I do so look forward to channeling answers for you. You know, channeling is one of the most satisfying and loving spaces for me to be in when I feel Anubis's energy or the Akashic beings of light energy, or even the Great Creatress, the Akashic beings of light, called the Divine Feminine, the Great Creatress. When I channel that energy, I feel so blissed. It's just marvelous. So I can't advocate enough for channeling. It's a great thing, and you can do it too. And I wouldn't mind teaching another class on opening to channel, or channeling 101 is what they called the last one. And I thought that was a really good idea and a great way of bringing that energy forth. You know, it's okay to be a beginner and learn how. You just got to learn how. And it takes a lot of practice. I tell you, I went through tons of self-doubt when I first learned to channel. And I didn't know all the little things that I know to spot and tune into, like, oh, that little twinge in my neck. That's not just my neck having a twinge. That's the indication when I'm doing a reading to ask the client, do you have some trouble with your neck right about this level, or something like that? And do you want me to look at it? I didn't realize that I took in information and energy from so many places. My body sensations, I might be having warmth or tingling or a sense of pressure or an opening in the energy, or a tension, or a twinge, or being directed to view clairvoyantly, perhaps someplace in the intestines or the heart or something like that. My body is really a good indicator of what's going on with you. And I get visions. I'll have a flash of a past life, or an image of a person in a certain setting, or I will be here, be given, like, ask about the mom, ask about the dad, ask about the grandma. Just so that you can have the information that's present there for you. So I hear words. The words the guides are using they might be specific, very specific for that person in that situation, and so necessary for appropriate communication and transmitting of the concepts and ideas and messages to the person I'm channeling for. I hear, or I also receive sensations or wholesale concepts, compact concepts that I have to unpack in the reading that have a relevance to you, the client. And that makes them really, really personal to you, not just some generic, spiritual stuff. I mean, I've accumulated a lot of that, that's for sure, not just through the channelings that I've been doing and all the work that I've been doing, but through readings and interaction with other spiritual teachers, other channels, other methodologies, and so forth. But, the guides bring forth exactly what you need at the moment and exactly what the client needs. And so channeling has just been a marvelous experience, and I highly recommend it. It's I feel like I have a gift that I've been given, and my job is to use it wisely. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. If you're seeing this on Facebook, Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness group page, or if you're seeing this on YouTube or LinkedIn, please do say hello. Check in. Let's stay in communication. I love you, and I want to do things for you. And if you get on into this group, then you have access to this information, and you can get this little free reading by typing your question into the comments so I can receive it. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to just get the Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness Facebook page up, and Adam. And then Marco Kurkansky, you're the best. Good morning, Pat Hansen. Good morning. How'd it go with your sister, Pat? I'm really glad to hear from you. One of the things that has been coming through a lot in the recent days, because of the stormy political landscape and the wars and all that stuff coming on, yes, good question, Pat. The thing is that they've been bringing through really good information about this and what we can do to make a difference from here, from our very own living rooms, or our own offices, or our own bedrooms, or our own little closet, or our own little world, to make a difference in these war-torn areas and like that. Visit with sister was great, wonderful time. Yay, that's perfect. Okay. So Pat says, if asked, can entries from the other dimension help cool off situations like Gaza? Yes. And what they're really bringing through, boy, Anubis is coming through strong today. Okay. Greetings and welcome from Anubis. We radiate our messages to you and to whoever has a chance to view this throughout time. Beyond the reaches and the limits of time, we radiate our messages, and they are delivered on a core frequency of love, so that the essence of the message is always love and finding people right. Now, the idea that has to be set aside is being a reaction, a knee-jerk reaction to hate, fear, drama, taking sides. In a land of duality, the challenge is to go up. So if you are moving from yes or no, black or white, right or wrong, if you are moving between these two dual points that so far have no apparent gradations in between these extremes, have your energy go up to the divine. to the divine heart of the mother, to the great creatress, is what the Akashic beings of light call the divine mother, the divine feminine. Have these extremes of right and wrong go up to her, for as you see through her eyes and you love through as she loves, there are no sides. It's all is one. There is no opposite. There's a connecting point in the middle, the humanity, the love. Everyone must be held in the petri dish of love, and to think of depersonalizing situations and not making the other group wrong or disparaging these people, insulting that side. This gets nowhere. This just ratchets up the anxiety and the anger and the fire of heated conversations. We're not looking for converts. There are no converts between right and wrong, yes or no. They're simply being. And so we are suggesting that as you come to a place of peace with yourself, with your soul, with the divine, in your daily meditations, that you hold fast, that you anchor this experience either by creating a memory file, by putting a pointer finger on a palm, either side works. Everything's okay. And stabilizing this sense of peace and love and unification. For as you unify your physical being with the light of your soul, embodying your soul's light fully and completely from tip to toe, from center of Mother Earth all the way up to the divine, you can radiate outward. You can be the spiritual heart, the big heart of the Divine Mother, the big heart of the divine, however you see the divine. As we try to desexualize or genderize the divine, as we try to balance out the fact that life is for all. And the more that you bring yourself into the present moment, forgive yourself for past misdeeds, forgive others for their past misdeeds, the more room there is for peace and unity. The more you can love your sister, you can love your brother, you can love your uncle, you can love your neighbor, you can love that person across the globe. And to take a step back from the drama and to see it as an impersonal situation. And you know that you are connected all through your physical body, your soul, and the divine. And that unites your humanity with all humanity and all life forms, actually. And yes, it makes a difference. The news is tricky. You must maintain a shred of critical thinking and discernment as you hear these opinions and the voices of so-called people in the know. They're not the divine. What would the divine say? How would the divine share her bounty, her unlimited supply with people? Not in sending war machines. The divine feminine does not have crusades or conversion activities. The divine expands to include. And so must we. And we, as Anubis and the Akashic beings of light, register the need for unity, love, peace. Mm. Mm. Oh, it says I froze for a moment. I'm better. Okay, good. Entities. Okay, yes, the entities, beings are very useful, very loving. The thing about the guides is that their first charter is to provide love, even when love feels scanty. It is to be as kind and sweet and inclusive. And that means with any one of us at any given time, even when we feel that we are not at our best. Let's see how we're doing here. Okay. Now, the stories you hear are generally designed to provide their point of view, their version of who's right, who's wrong, who has been egregiously affected, who's the victim and who's the dominator, who's the aggressor and who's the demeaned. And these are the dual opposites. We have to be more than this. We have to include all of the gradations of choice and options and varieties in between. We have to be the example. We have to be the brave ones and see not victims, but just other human beings, other hearts, other souls that look so much like us. So important. So I think there was some kind of big news that came on today with the president going on to talk about what side he's taking and what side he thinks the country should take. But here we also look for questions that help solve your problems, community problems, that help move us forward on our soul's journey with grace, with lightness, with divine energy flowing through us, staying connected, sorting your energy and connecting with the soul and the divine every day, several times a day. When you embody your soul's light, you are automatically linked to the divine, and that's why they are promoting that so much. Very helpful. And it changes your consciousness. It brings you into focus and reminds you where the energy really is. Today we have the option. Today we have the possibility of being more loving, more in the light. And we start by forgiving ourselves, forgiving our sisters and brothers, and stop living in the past. Living in the past is detrimental. It's the mind's way of reaching back and finding out what happened the last time I had this experience and how do I defend myself now? And it has nothing to do with the present moment or the options that are actually here in the present moment. These are the things that are most interesting to myself and to the divine. We're looking for questions. Questions are the can openers to information in the Akashic Records. And a question is a refinement of intention. So, for instance, when we do readings for people, we suggest that they think about their questions in advance so that they know why they're having a reading. When someone sits down and says, I just want to know what the guides want me to know, sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's like, well, there's a lot of information here in this big universe. Well, how can we refine that so it applies to you, so it makes sense to you? And today we might be being with the energy that's present rather than in a conversation. Or asking the guides to hold forth and be repetitive. I'm very pleased that we have 493 members of the Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness group. And it amazes me that something of this topic would bring that many people to it. And I'm so pleased that I get to connect with all of you. This is my what do you call it? This is my proofing copy of my book, Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness. And all the tabs, things to change, things to update. And I'm working with the woman who did this beautiful cover art for me. She did the back as well. And it has the quotes on the back from some of my beta readers. And she's also doing the interior and making it look very, very professional, very beautiful. Each chapter starts looking like this. And so we've got the expand to include Soul Sorcerer Etsy store logo, and then on the top in black and white, and then we move into the prayer. Because every time you read a chapter, you're encouraged to open your Akashic records, because you get that expanded knowledge, that expanded understanding, that rise in consciousness. And when you go into soul consciousness, and the Akashic records exist on a soul level plane of consciousness. And at the end, there are intriguing questions. We call them interactive questions, so that, and you write your answers to these so that you can explain your experience to yourself. You note what you've experienced. It makes it even more real for you, that it brings the learning into a deeper level. You know, when I'm at seminars or weekend classes, I always feel like I get so much, like the energy's amplified, and I want to make lots and lots of notes. And even if you don't make lots and lots of notes, but you make a number of significant notes, it's makes your experience real to yourself, and helps you know what you've experienced, helps you know what you've learned. So let's see if we have any new questions. Will there be profound changes in my life in the next 3 years? David Grace, hello, my darling. You're such a dear. Yes, there will be profound changes in your life in the next 3 years. There are going to be babies born in the family to which you will feel a great attachment and commitment to sponsoring, grandfather parenting, to which these beings are brought not only into your experience for you, but also for the parents, but you will find it somehow even deeper and richer. And as you've noticed over these last decade or so, your heart is such a big heart, but it's far more alive and a source of your awareness, and informs you so much more about your experience and your connections with others. And so grandchildren will be very, very important. I'm seeing a bicycle. Are you tending to ride a bicycle? Did you get an electric bike? Well, I think it's very good for you to be having the wind in your face in a certain way, in a gentle way that both gives you some exercise and activity, but very safely. And in a way that might be joint activities with your beloved wife. That's quite a driveway to go up. It can be done, but it's quite a driveway to go up. So we're seeing that as more of an activity and an exploration in your experience. I feel sadness, though, if you're thinking about selling the plane, or if you have sold the little plane. I feel a little sadness there, like there's a letting go of a particular identity there. So if you have not sold it, hang on to it for as long as you can, but know when the time comes, the opportunity comes, it might be time to say yes to that opportunity. I think there are going to be 2 contracts for work coming up through this next period of 3 years that will be very valuable to you, and great opportunities completely within your venue of bringing forth your skill set, your understanding, your usefulness to others. And then you will be ready to retire. Perhaps these contracts will take you through the next 5 years. That is what we're seeing. My goodness. Oh, Rebecca Donald. Hello, darling. Let us ask. There's somebody you already have in mind, Rebecca. Oh, let this thing unfold. Let it unpack itself. Let it be. The thing about this person that you are becoming romantically involved with is that it's kind of like the guy you sat in the tree with when you were grammar school age, that you climbed up the tree and you sat in the tree and you talked about, and I wonder if, and what do you think about this? And what if, why are the stars so far away? Or how can I bring them closer? Or, where your conversations rambled and ranged to a wide variety of things. So let your throat be open and expressive. Let the words flow. Let your communications be very clear. Use the tracheo as a clearing device, that energy center in the throat, to allow what you want to say be said, and have it come from your Ranthia, the heart center. And always the Ranthia influencing, flavoring, choosing the words that are most loving. And so there's a childlike experience to this, but it's also one that doesn't come from the mind. I have to manage this. I've got to have boundaries. I got to set terms. That's mind. Drop it down to the heart, to the throat, and then also explore any past lives that you've had with this person and see what the history is there. But this person that you get to spend the rest of your days with, because there's joy, there's some security, there's partnership, there's equality here. Definite equality. And it's not by who brings in the big bucks. There's equality from one soul to another soul, a knowingness, that kind of intimacy. We are not fond of terms such as soulmate and twin flame. They have been overworked to death and absconded by the Hallmark card industry in ways that are inaccurate. Your soulmate can be your best friend. You can have more than one, and they may be romantic and they may not be. That does not matter. These souls are in your life for a particular reason, because you set it up that way when you are making arrangements for this life. And there are some critical points here that help smooth the transition of your parents and the work that you have to do to take care of them, and your work in general, and gives you somebody to bounce some thoughts about actions, decisions, choices, perhaps even ways of making money that you would like to explore with someone who cares about you deeply and knows your gifts, talents, and abilities, and who you are and what you stand for in this lifetime. That's the kind of romance that you've been holding out for. Oh, let's see. Glad to see you, Rebecca. I'm glad to see everybody. I'm love to be connected with all of you. You're my friends. You're my compatriots. We're on an equal basis. All of us are important. You all mean so much to me. And thank you so much. Well, I believe that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here with me. Oh, you sold the plane. You do miss it. Oh, you did. Oh, thank you, David. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of hard. It's all right. You fly in other ways, huh, David? You can fly in consciousness. You can surf the starry skies, go to different planets. You can range wherever you want to go. And an electric bike seems like a really good idea, don't you think? Easy to manage. You don't have to store it in a separate place from where you live. Kind of practical. You might have to put a bike rack on the back of that Tesla, though. I think that's a new look. Oh, you are just my dears. I love you so much. Thank you for letting me be in this space with you. And I hope that your day unfolds in beauty and grace. Thank you very much. Bye now. Thank you for being with me. Do say hello. Interact. That's what it's all about, folks. We're here together.